we talked about malnutrition or undernutrition, okay? And we're talking about like nutrition in general. But when there's no food at all, so it's not even a matter of nutrition, there's no food, anybody know what that's called? Lack of food to the point of starvation? Yes, famine, good. And there's several things that contribute to famine, which is like a real drastic, not having food is obviously drastic. So what are they? Give me some examples that lead to famine.
Drought.
Overpopulation always good, but drought is going to be one of them. And this is a picture of drought. So the drought leads to dry land and the inability to grow crops because you need water for crops. What else? Look at my pictures.
Like food rotting or something?
Good. Well, yeah.
Or being cold.
But why did food rot? Very, very cold. Crop failure due to weather conditions, okay? What else?
Flooding.
Flooding. And what's the last one? War. When we think of food production, you think of three main sources that provide food. Anybody know what they are? Look at my pictures. Water, good, which is your picture of fish. And farming. What kind of farming? There's two main types of farming.
Agricultural and industrial.
Agriculture and industrial describes the method of farming. What do you farm for? Animals or crops. So here's something to think of. There's 77% of Earth is a cropland. Yet only, our food, 77% of our food comes from cropland. That's here. 77% of all food on Earth comes from cropland. Yet there's only 11% of the land on Earth available for growing crops.
Two words that are covered.
I'll do this one. Whoops. Rangelands, which is where you have cows, 16% of your food comes from that. So obviously, you know, not everybody gets the privilege of eating meat. And 22% of land on Earth is for that. Now, as you learned in the previous chapter, 70% of Earth is water, but only 7% of your food comes from
What's the little
aquaculture
box
or
around
culture.
your ring?
7% is aquaculture. And don't forget that you reference rangelands as feedlots, because that's land where animals can graze on. Keep in mind that the world food production goal is to increase yield. Anybody had heard of that word? You want to increase the amount of food you could grow in a given area. So if I only have 11% of land for crops, I got to figure out a way to double my crops because I don't have any more land to grow it on. And I need more food. And we also want to try to improve sustainability and efficiency, but that's not everybody's goal. That's environmental goals. The food production goal is definitely the first one. All right,
What are
so
the arrows?
the arrows were just pointing to environmental
Wait, what? Oh.
goals for food production. We want to try to increase yield, but consider, you know, sustainability and efficiency in the process. All right, so traditional farming can also be called subsistence farming, okay, which is basically the way it was in the past. You consider this past. So let's look at these pictures and tell me what kind of, what techniques of farming am I describing in these pictures?
Plows.
Plows. So how was plow?
With the horses or bulls, whatever you see.
So it was man and animal power. So man and animal power.
Wait, that's really fast.
Yeah, I'm making it skinnier.
So we just remain.
Correct. How about the next picture or any picture? Anybody else?
Seeds.
Good. You're using organic fertilizer or manure. You could put that. Organic fertilizer or manure. Those are actually like droppings of an animal. What else?
Machine. Or
With organic fertilizer.
Organic fertilizer.
What's
Manure.
Shovel.
Shovel. They're actually weeding. Okay, manual weed removal. So they're using like shovels and rakes to remove weeds. And plowing is on the top. This is the plowing, but they use like manpower and animal power.
Man.
What's the bottom one?
Watering.
Watering. They're self-irrigating.
What are the things that are covered?
What does that say, man, what?
Manpower.
What are the things?
So basically, what traditional farming involves is growing enough food for your family and then maybe selling to the local market. It's not for mass production.